now from Italy is David Brenner. He is a boxing commentator who was fortunate enough to interview Muhammad Ali multiple times. Thank you so much for joining us, David. Now, as journalists, we like to consider ourselves professional at all times, but surely you wouldn't have been able to help but be a little starstruck when interviewing Muhammad Ali.
That's absolutely right, Natasha. Let me say right away, I'm just so sad this morning to hear that Muhammad Ali has passed. He was my greatest sporting hero. I've got many wonderful memories of him. He was just such a great guy to be with. He had this enormous sense of fun. He just liked kidding around with you. And if you went along with him and kidded him back and refused to be overawed in his presence, he was just the most fantastic person to interview. And it was just a pleasure and a privilege to hang out with him and to spend time with him.
Can you perhaps tell us any stories that happened during that interview or of things he may have said that perhaps never reached the airwaves?
Well, it's very difficult to show you right now. He gave me a little boxing lesson once.
How'd you go?
Which was to sort of demonstrate his speed, and I'll try and show this to you. He got me to stand like this, and he said, "Okay, what I'm going to do," he said, "I'm going to show you how fast I am, and I'm going to throw a punch. And when I say now, I want you to clap your hands, and before your hands come together, I'm going to just tap you on the chest." And all his entourage, his friends and the hangers-on, the cat followers, they were all laughing and kidding around with him. And I'm saying, "No, you're going to punch me. You're going to hit me on the chin. You're going to knock me out." He said, "No, I'm not going to do that. Just bring your hands together." And so, okay, so I'm standing like that, and he said, "Okay, I'm going to say now, and when I say now, bring your hands together." So, okay, so he said, "Now," and I went like that, and he just flicked his hand like that, and he said, "Do you want to see it again? Wasn't that fast? Aren't I the fastest? Aren't I the greatest? Aren't I the champ? Aren't I the best of all time? Yes, you're the best of all time, champ." And he just liked kidding around like that. And as I said, if you went along with him, you'd get a great interview. You'd have a good time with him.
You know, David, I know nothing about boxing, but even just seeing all of the images that we've been showing throughout the morning, I can tell how lightning quick Muhammad Ali was in the ring. How does his skill set compare to some of the boxers of today who perhaps have a little bit more help with research and technology and coaching strategies?
Well, that's a good question, Natasha, because every era, boxing fans think the champions of their era are the best. When Ali was at his prime, people would say, "Oh, he wasn't as good as Rocky Marciano. He wasn't as good as Joe Louis." Now you're getting people saying, "Oh, you know, maybe people aren't as good as Ali." Ali was unique. Technically, he had flaws as a boxer. Technically, he was sometimes a little bit suspect, but he was unorthodox. He had tremendous speed, tremendous reactions, and a heart as big as a lion. And the fights he had against George Foreman and against Sonny Liston when he won the world title, against Joe Frazier, of course. These were epic battles against well-matched fighters. Nowadays, there are so many different world titles that you can have 3, 4, 5, 6 different world champions at a single weight. And because of the way boxing is set up, they don't meet each other that often. Back in the 70s, if you had 2 great fighters, the attitude was, "Let's get it on, let's see who's best," and Ali was the best.
David, the world is full of sporting legends across all different kinds of sport. What separates Muhammad Ali?
Oh, goodness.
Because he has been classified by Sports Illustrated the best sports person of the century.
Well, yes, okay. I tell you one thing. What I found in my career as a sports journalist is that the truly, truly great sports people had a humility and a niceness. They didn't have to prove anything to anybody. And this was a tiny, tiny handful of people. Muhammad Ali was one. The cricketer Viv Richards was another. The Australian runner Cathy Freeman was yet another. These were just such tremendous athletes, such tremendous sports people. They didn't need to all the sort of, the flim-flam, the publicity. They were just great, great athletes. And for Ali to add to this a mind that was as quick as his reactions in the boxing ring, and you had a truly unique package.
And David, also Ali was obviously out of the ring for 4 years amongst the controversy with him refusing to go to Vietnam and being stripped of his world title. To get back in the ring 4 years later and take out the title, how many people in this world would be capable of such a feat?
Well, that was incredible, wasn't it? On a point of principle, to just walk away when he was in his the peak of his career, and athletes, they can't do that. To keep performing is how they stay good. You can't just walk away from your sport and then come back and hope to achieve the same level as you were before. Muhammad Ali took time out, and then he came back, and he wasn't as good. He was better than he was before, and that is an achievement that no athlete has ever achieved, has ever matched.
And David, if we look at many of the more famous boxers today, people like Mike Tyson, they're certainly not struggling for a dollar. It seems to be quite a well-paid sport if you're good at it. Do they owe that to Muhammad Ali promoting the sport?
Oh yes, the heavyweight boxing title is known as the richest prize in sport. There is no other sporting event, no other sports. I can't think of any where just one event, one evening, a title fight where you can earn 10, 20, 30 million dollars. You can't do that in a game of soccer. You can't do that in a game of tennis. You can't play that in any other sport. Now, you can only generate that sort of money if people are going to come and see the fight, are going to watch it on television. And there were a handful of fighters like Muhammad Ali, like, say, Sugar Ray Leonard, who could, I want to see this guy. He's so wonderful. I've seen him before. I've got to watch him. Mike Tyson was another. I'm not going to start talking about today's heavyweights. Good luck to them in whatever they earn, in whatever they achieve. But every penny they get today, they get thanks to Muhammad Ali.
Wow. Okay. Thank you. That's very interesting. David Brenner, thank you so much for your insight.